Hi, Keith Van Wimmer, VanTek Consulting. Today we're talking about the ONX or ONX-580 VIAVI test meter. It's the One Expert 580 copper test meter, DSL, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, wiring tools, HPNA, coax testing. This thing is a powerhouse of basically of copper testing and xDSL testing. They've also started doing things with OTDR modules that can hang off this. So rather than having a T-Berd 2000 or something separate, your fiber to the home guys could and broadband technicians can actually use the OTDR module and use this screen for the display. So today what we're going to do is kind of focus on copper testing. A lot of folks come out and they ask all the time about what's the one test that I can do that will give me all the answers and guarantee that my DSL is going to work perfectly. And the answer to that is none. All right, it's not existent. Whenever you do copper testing, you really need to focus on doing all of the tests and making sure that the requirements to support the speed and the reliability of the circuit, that the copper is capable of doing that. The closest you can get to a one button push is what we'll call the one check. So there's a function down here. It's a one check copper, and when you go into this, we have different profiles in here. And I'm not going to go through how to set these up in this video. I've already set one up. It's my VanTek profile, and basically the manufacturer, when they come out, they basically make a profile that they believe is the best one. Well, what I found in testing and working with multiple companies across the country is that it's not. I mean, just plainly, it's not the best. So basically, I've created my own profile on what I found through my years of being a chronic tech and working with copper and resolving DSL issues, what works best for me. So this is kind of, I created one that's what works best for me, so best practices, as well as incorporating some industry standards into it. Again, I'm not going to go through the setting up of the profile in this video. But what'll happen is you can take one of these profiles, you can do the copy. So as you can see here, we did we have a good pair test one. You can go in and basically manipulate the different settings in here, the wideband noise, the voice frequency, narrowband, etc., and general settings, and kind of build that profile to meet your company specifications and standards for xDSL. Once you've done that, it's really nice if all the technicians are kind of in lockstep and testing the exact same values, so Bob's not out there testing one and saying, hey, 50 mega ohms is good. And, Frank's out there testing, and saying, no, I need 100 mega ohms. Again, it's best if you can get this kind of maintained, standardized, and fixed. So one of the things you can do with this is if you're using VIAVI StratusSync, you can take this profile, standardize it for your entire company, and push it out to all the meters as soon as they connect. So StratusSync is kind of cool. It's a paid-for application that is provided by VIAVI Cloud Services, storing things like that. So let's focus on basically this guy here has the profile and it's been built. Go to the one check on this machine. We can see that profile is not in here right now. So what I want to do is I want to copy this profile over to this machine. And it's actually pretty simple. The only thing you need on this is a USB. All right. So you take this. These meters have a couple USB ports on the side. It doesn't matter which one. Just plug in your stick. And this, it doesn't even have to be an empty stick. It can have some information on it. It doesn't really matter. You have to select that, so I use my arrow buttons down. Sometimes when you hit it with your finger, it actually launches it, and I don't want it to launch. I just want it to be selected. I'm going to hit my first button here, which is under the profile. And then you'll notice at this point it has the save profiles package to USB or load the profile. So what we're going to do is we're going to go save the profile. You have to give it some kind of version number. So we'll just say 2.0 just for grins and say OK. It's copied that onto the USB drive now. So got that. And then, of course, you know, we should eject this, but being the renegade I am, I just rip it out of there. So we'll go to this guy. Plug him in on this one. And then we'll come back over, go to the same thing, open up the OneCheck Copper, go to Profiles, and then load profile package from the USB. So just select that, and it loads it on here. I created this profile. You know, I started out with their one good pair. Hit this button down here and copy it, and you get this one here now. It says one check good pair test 1. I would edit that, rename it. You know, you can put your company logo in there, etc., and do all this wonderful stuff. So you don't want it. Again, just hit your profile, hit delete, confirm that, and it's gone. Alrighty. The one thing that you do have to do is make sure that if you're doing this and you're saving it to a stick and going from one machine to the next, you know, it goes directly. Don't rename the file or anything. If you rename the file, anything other than the default name, it's not going to find it on the machine you're trying to put it on. Okay, that's it. I mean, that's the simplicity of the whole thing. And then to launch this, all you do is go in here and launch up your OneCheck, and the job type you can put in a different job type. This is, you know, set for VDSL. It's a single line with the Viavi UltraFed. We'll do another video talking about the UltraFeds and the how good those are. The temperature set, again, you know, depending on where you're at in the country, you know, I'm in Arizona, and, you know, 68 degrees is non-existent here unless it's dead of winter. But this is talking about the temperature of the copper, basically, you know, at what, 18 to 30 inches, you know, underground. So again, the best way, if you're trying to get this absolutely perfect, one of the best ways you can do that is if you have city water. Let the water run for a little bit and get the temperature off of the water, and that's going to probably be within a few degrees of the copper temperature. Again, we'll cover some more of these things in depth in some other future videos. So I hope this was helpful. If you do want to send this over to somebody, what you would do is, you know, I zip it up, and so if somebody does that, make sure that you unzip it into the root directory of the USB drive. So I will make this profile available. I'll have it up on a server in a zip file. So again, onto the USB, unzip it into the root. It's going to be the profiles. It's a Linux tar file, so it'll be there. So anyway, that's the link to that will be down in the description. So hope this was helpful, and we'll start covering more stuff on this meter. If you have any questions about the meter or any of the functions, give me a holler. These things are great. I used to use the HST 3000, which was my just one of my favorite meters. I've used them all. The 965s, the HST 3000, the AMSs. This by far is my favoriteest meter of all of them. This thing is just an absolute powerhouse. Anyway, again, like, subscribe, follow, all that wonderful fun stuff. Join us on Facebook. Subscribe to the channel. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you on the next video.